So we're going to make a wee start. If you've got a block for practice, that would be great. If you don't have a block, but you have a roll, so rolled up, taped up, yoga mat or a towel, that will also be good to use for class. If you don't have any of those things, when we get to the part where I say use the block, you can still do the pose without. It just takes a little bit more ingenuity to make it work. So just track that as you move throughout the session. To begin with, start in a comfortable cross-legged position. If you know that you prefer during the intent setting to be laying down, then feel free to lay down. So anywhere where you can feel spacious around your lower back and feel a little bit more upright. Close your eyes to bring in your very best quality of attention and relax the upper arms down away from your ears. If you're on your back, any little movements that can help you feel more comfortable where you are. And then return to the dependency and familiarity of doing deep breathing. So aiming to get that audible whisper quality sound to your breath, that ujjayi whisper sound. And have that as something that you can use throughout the practice. So that is something that we call on frequently in these classes. So if you're newer, do the work to familiarize yourself with the breath as we move through the session. Now, this evening's class, I've kind of given it a name, so as if it was a movie. It's called Split the Difference. So that might give you a hint as to perhaps the physical asana that we're moving towards. But also, I want you to almost treat the situation just now like a really not so great deal. All right, so you're walking away with something that maybe is not what you thought you were going to get for this time. But I want you to cherish the things that you have come away with. So whether it is a connection to your yoga practice, maybe that's something you hadn't anticipated, your health, or maybe you have finally been able to do some of those if only I had time things on your list. Maybe even it's just that you've taken a little bit more time to rest. So I want you to feel in this situation that is less than ideal, what is there that you have that you are appreciating more? And work that as a theme throughout your practice. Not feeling what you have lost or what you can't do, but working really reflexively with what you have at your disposal right now. If your deep breathing has disappeared, bring it back so you have that steady ujjayi whisper sound. So that inhale for 5 and the exhale for anything from a 6 count or 7. Let that be something that moves you. At the end of the day, you definitely have the ability to do deep, conscious breathing. If you were laying down on your back, bring yourself upright. Take your legs into straddle. Now, if this isn't your favorite pose, don't worry. We're not going straight in, like dive bombing into straddle. Use your hands behind you and then bend your knees a little bit. So you should be able to see a little bit of space, a few inches underneath each knee so the legs are bent. If it feels too spicy to have the legs wide, just go slightly narrower. Deep breath in. Exhale, rotate both thighs to the right. So you're sending both knees to the right knee points to the right, left knee comes in towards the right. So one leg rotating in, one leg rotating out. Similar to what many of you will have done before with the hip mobility work. Inhale, bring the knees up through center. Exhale, send the knees to the left. Inhale, knees come up through center, letting the pelvis move so it's not on the floor. Exhale, send the knees to the right. Press down through your legs. So you might feel that you're starting to switch on the inner left thigh, the outer right. Inhale, feet come back up through center. Exhale, send the knees left. Press down through your leg bones, lift the chest. Inhale, knees come back up through center. Exhale, send the knees to the right. Take the hands either side of your right thigh. Actively rotate through the right leg so you're aiming for the pinky toe on the right side to go down. Inhale, lift up through your low ribs. Exhale, lean over that leg, shoulder blades draw back, and tuck the chin to help lengthen through the back of the neck. Do your breathing in a way that helps you connect to the sensations on the outside of that leg. More flexible day, perhaps you get a bit more depth coming into this, perhaps grasping the heel. This is very similar to a pigeon, sternum to heel. But getting into some of these growly places around IT band that can be particularly stubborn. Stay here, but exhale through the mouth for Uddiyana, the diaphragm vacuum. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs and your diaphragm towards your right heel. Relax your abdomen. Bring yourself up. Bring the knees back up through center. Exhale, rotate the legs to the left. Hands are going either side of that left leg. Inhale, lift up left side low ribs. Exhale, fold over the leg and actively rotate your left pinky toe outwards. Left knee is trying to point to the left more. Instead of rounding your back excessively, lift the low front ribs up. So it's like a cobra style unfurl, leaning towards that leg. Perhaps changing your hand position to clasp around the heel itself. Recommit to doing your Ujjayi breathing. So while we haven't had a set pranayama, this is technically the pranayama. You're doing deep breathing followed by Uddiyana. So on cue almost, exhale through the mouth. Hold your breath. Scoop ribs and diaphragm towards your left heel, lengthening through the back of the neck by tucking the chin slightly. Get curious as to how long you're willing to or can hold this for. Inhale, bring yourself up. Straighten your legs forward, so we need to drag them back in a little bit. Left leg is going forwards, right foot is coming in towards your left thigh. Get the pelvis facing forward. So we're moving into two poses here. The first one is a single leg forward bend. After the single leg forward bend, moving into a pose that's very similar to flank stretch. So the physical action is not so much a side bend as a leaning of the rib cage to the side whilst in a forward bend. So it's a lean rather than a deliberate side bend. So it's a different feel. Flex your left foot so the toes are pulling towards your shin and aim to sit up tall on your sit bones. This is already engaging into your lower abdominals. If that's tricky, bend the left leg so you feel like you are really anchored on those sit bones. Now you might need to bend the leg to do the next part too. Left hand comes over the top of that left foot. Take the right hand over the top of that and have the fingers interlacing with one another. Pull with your arms and lift the chest up so you're getting your back as straight as possible. Exhale, press the left ball of the foot forwards to draw yourself into the forward bend. Stay in the pose. I'm showing you more side on with the left leg forwards. So that the arms are pulling to switch on your lats to help you unfurl through the lower back. Endeavor to stick your butt out as you work into that lever. Now moving into the flank stretch element, the right hand is going to keep a hold of that left foot. Take your left hand outside your left foot, outside your left shin rather. Push with it and lean your ribs to the right. At the same time, bend the right elbow, send the right elbow over to the right. Inhale, lean the right ribs towards the right side of your mat. Exhale, anchor the left sit bone down. So feeling that your ribcage and spine is opening towards the right hand side, whilst pressing with the left hand to further that. To create more tension, push the left foot against the right hand and bend the right elbow. So treating this less like a twist. So if you're starting to twist, right armpit up, collarbone should stay level. Do an Uddiyana here. After that Uddiyana, bring yourself up, change legs. Right leg goes forwards. Foot is flexing, so you're pulling the toes back but not lifting the heels. That's you kind of pushing into like a hypermobility at the back of the knee. Inhale, lift up onto those sit bones, so feeling for a tipping forward action in the pelvis. Right hand comes over the top of the foot. Left hand meshes with that. Inhale, pull with your arms to drag the chest forwards and up, chin tucks. Exhale, press the right ball of the foot forwards. So the aim isn't to round so that you are fully hunching into the pose, but more to get a really good pull with the arms. So even if that means bending the right leg significantly or using a strap to get your foot, do that. Inhale, lift low front ribs up. Exhale, press forwards, tuck the chin. So if you feel like you're at your edge, and it's interesting enough, there's not really any need to go anywhere else. That's kind of what we were speaking about, the intent, is trying to really press to have what you don't quite have. Right? So work with what you're working with and take delight in the sensations that are present. Compass pose, left hand is holding onto the top of the foot. Take the right hand outside the right shin. Inhale, lean your ribcage left. Bend the left elbow, send the left elbow left as you press with your right hand. Take care that the right sit bone hasn't lifted from the mat. Inhale, lengthen your left ribs to the left as your head leans to the right. Exhale, pull belly muscles in. In this slight side bend, I feel like Uddiyana is a really interesting place to work. So exhale everything out through the mouth. Hold your breath. Scoop the ribs forwards, but also send the ribs to the left. Release the abdomen. Bring yourself up. Okay, in this sitting position, this is a good gauge for where we're working. Send your legs straight forwards. Without using your hands, bring your right foot to your left inner thigh. Then put it back. Bring your left foot to your right inner thigh. Now, if they were at your knee, but not quite your inner thigh, then that might mean that you are using your hand in the next thing to bring the foot kind of into dock in the right place. So you're coming into elbow to tree. The Forrest Yogis call it brolga. When you're doing this, the foot is on the inner thigh and you are applying pressure with your foot against your thigh and your thigh against your foot. Following that up with star spiral pulse, so another straight leg action, straddle lifting through, and then some other fun things. You need to have your block or your roll handy for when we get to bridge pose. Come down onto your back. Interlace your fingers behind your head and neck and bring the elbows in close to the sides of the head. During the elbow to tree, there isn't a reaching of the elbows side to side. The head and shoulders are simply up the entire time. So as a test, send your left leg straight up. Put your right foot to your left inner thigh. You might need to use your hand to put that foot there. You might need to use your hand to keep the foot there for the duration of the abdominal. Change legs, send your right leg up. Put your left foot to your right inner thigh. Maybe you're using your hand to hold it there. And then release that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working with. Starting the abdominal. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, send your right leg up. Put your left foot to your right inner thigh. Push your thigh against your foot against your thigh. Pull belly down. Inhale, bend both legs. Hold your breath, shoulders are up. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, send left leg up. Put the right foot to the left inner thigh. Push your thigh against your foot against your thigh, feet active, belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Hold your breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, send the right leg up. Left foot goes to right inner thigh. Push foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Squeeze right sit bone muscles, belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Hands are behind the head. Hold your breath. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, left leg goes up. Right foot goes to left inner thigh. Push foot against thigh, thigh against foot. Squeeze sit bone muscles, belly down. Inhale, bend both legs. Hold your breath. Lean the head back, but lift shoulder blades up. Tailbone up. Exhale, send the right leg up. Flex the foot. Left foot to thigh, thigh to foot. Belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Hold your breath. Tailbone up. Exhale, left leg goes up. Foot is flexing. Push your right foot against your leg against your foot. Belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Head down. Feet down. So that's intense. Fires things up. For the next part, you're moving into star spiral pulse. So from where you are, clasp your hands behind your head and then send only your right leg straight up. Turn the right toes in, anything from about 15 to 20 degrees. Now, without bending and straightening your leg, feel for pulsing your heel up from your pelvis. So it's like a bit of tuck tailbone, a bit of reaching through the thigh to create that little triple pulse. That's what you're going to be doing during this abdominal. So it isn't about swinging your leg forwards and back. It isn't about can kicking towards the sky. unless you're feeling extra fancy. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Bring the knees up so the knees are above the pelvis. Hold your breath, tailbone up. This time, exhale, reach your elbows towards your left leg. Send the right leg up. Turn the toes in, pause. Deep breath in. Exhale, pulse the thigh bone up 3 times, belly pulls down. Inhale, bend the legs. Hold your breath, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, reach elbows to right leg. Left leg goes up, toes turn in. Pulse the heel up 3 times, belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Hold your breath in, tailbone up. Exhale, right leg up, toes in. Pulse the heel up 3 times, belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Hold your breath. Tailbone up. Exhale, send left leg up, toes turn in. Pulse the heel up 3 times, pulling the belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Last one of these. Hold your breath. Tailbone up. Exhale, elbows reach left. Right leg goes up. Pulse that heel up 3 times, belly down. Inhale, bend legs. Well, this is the last one of these. Last half. Hold the breath. Tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to right leg. Left leg up, toes in. Pulse that heel up 3 times, belly down. Inhale, bend the legs, head down. Use your hands to bring your knees into your chest. And feel free to make some circles with the knees just to help alleviate the hips a little bit. So maybe inwards, maybe outwards. Because we have more to do, my lovelies. Bring your knees up so your knees are above your hips, legs bent 90 degrees. This is the position for frog lifting through. This will work really well today if you're hamstring injured, inner thigh injured, or back sensitive. Alternatively, working with the legs straight, which will make more sense with how we're moving today. Clasp your hands behind your head. Whether your legs are bent or whether your legs are straight, take the legs wide. Aim to reach out through the toes. Press your pelvis down, but lift the shoulder blades up. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl your tailbone up. Lift head and shoulders up. Pull belly down. Inhale, uncurl tailbone. Press the pelvis down. Exhale, curl your tailbone up. Reach thighs away from pelvis, getting spacious, but also navigating the complexities of the inner thighs. Pull belly down. Inhale, relax through the pelvis, shoulders up. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, reach thighs away from pelvis, feet vibrant, belly down. Inhale, relax the curl in tailbone. Lower your shoulders 1 inch. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up as you curl, tailbone up, pull belly down. Inhale, relax head and shoulders 1.5 inches. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up, curl the tailbone up, lifting up that 1.5 inches, belly down. Inhale, lower the head toes almost down but not down. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up, curl tailbone up, lift head and shoulders up, belly down. Inhale, head down. Use your hands outside your knees to assist bringing the legs back in towards each other, and then set the feet down. Woo! Triple threat abdominals. Splits on the back. Bring your left knee into your chest. Take your index and your middle finger to hold on to the big toe of the left foot, palm faces to the right. Keeping the knee pretty close to your chest, gradually work your left leg straighter, and then, if it feels comfortable, reach the right leg towards the front of your mat. At this point, you're exploring what you have going on in the back of that left leg, so it doesn't need to be full splits yet. We are still very much warming up. So thigh is close to the chest, press up through the left ball of the foot. So you should feel that the base of the big toe and that hold on the big toe feels very strong, very resolute. Clasp your right hand behind your head. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up, aiming to seal your ribcage onto your left thigh. Perhaps you can work that left leg straight there. So just see what happens as you start to contract through the abdomen. Take another deep breath. Exhale, release the head down, change legs. So right leg is coming in. Hold on to the big toe from the inside of the leg. Left foot goes down. Gradually work on reaching out through that right leg, so probably bent initially. Put your pelvis down rather than curling your tailbone up, and then straighten your left leg. Inhale deeply. Exhale, press out through that right ball of the foot, contracting the right heel towards the back of the knee. Maybe you can work the leg a little straighter. So bear in mind, we're still warming things up. Like, it doesn't mean splits is going to happen right now, right this second. Take the left hand behind your head. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. So not just trying to pull your face towards your leg, but aiming to lift the rib cage and the torso up towards that right thigh. Switch deep breathing on, so this isn't just an exercise of holding your breath and seeing how that goes. Inhale, lay your head down. Set your feet to the ground, getting set up for bridge pose. Put the roll or the block to your inner thighs. That's its first location. If you don't have anything, don't panic. Do this with the feet hip distance apart. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears, palms face up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, press into active feet, curl tailbone up, squeeze the roll, lift pelvis. Inhale, telescope your ribs towards the back of the mat. Exhale, curl tailbone up, squeeze the roll or the block with the inner thighs. If you're newer to bridge or newer to Forrest Yoga, active feet means lifting the toe tips and spreading them, pressing down through the base of the toes, the heels, evenly. Then, to help you switch on the legs more, tailbone tucks towards the back of the knees and squeezing the roll or the block. If you've got nothing at the inner thighs are channeling towards each other, so you get an isometric contraction of the adductors. Inhale, lengthen your ribcage towards the back of the mat. Exhale, press into your feet to help perhaps navigate some extra height. Shoulders are completely relaxed. Now take the roll or the block out from inner thighs and take it underneath your pelvis. If you don't have anything to put under your pelvis, you can wedge your hands underneath your sacrum and your pelvis to hold the pelvis up, because otherwise this next bit is going to feel very stamina draining. Half virasana. Exhale, bring the right foot back. Have the toes tucked and then feel for pressing down through the heel. So imagine you're wearing like a high heel shoe and you're driving your heel down. Like for me, like I imagine like those scenes in movies where like the wronged wife has come home and is like standing on the photo of the husband and driving the heel through that. It's almost like it resonates with me. Now you can either be here or bring your left knee into your chest. Now if you've got knee stuff going on and that right knee isn't happy, so maybe you don't want to do half virasana, you're sending the right leg to the front of the room, but bringing the left knee into the chest. So this is still giving you some quadricep opening, something we can navigate a little bit more later, but for now, it's taking the pressure off of that right knee. If you're in half virasana, you're deepening the pose by pressing down through the right heel. It's a bit counterintuitive. Alright, release the feet down, be back in bridge, so we have another side to do. So remember, knee injury option is to extend the left leg, right knee comes into chest. Alternatively, exhale, bring the left foot back, close to your pelvis, press downwards through that left heel, then bring the right knee in towards your chest. So finding a way that you can open up and navigate into the left quadricep whilst doing deep breathing. So that's going to be a really good way to work here. Alright, release the half virasana if you're in it, set both feet flat, and then lift up off of the roll or the block. Once you're clear, lower down through your shoulders, mid-back, low back, and then set pelvis down. Once your pelvis is down, roll to your left. Use your arms to come up from the ground with your neck relaxed. So you're coming up towards seated. Swing your legs forwards once you are sitting. Just to give you a visual, so normally if you were doing dolphin pose, this is the orientation of your legs, so sort of feet parallel. For this dolphin, you'll be working with your knees a little bit bent, crossing one leg over the other, and then pressing back towards straighted legs. So it's just a little foot cross, just to get into some of the different places in the legs and feel how this works. You'll be working this as dolphin hands clasped. Come down onto your elbows. Go for knees underneath the pelvis, elbows under the shoulders. Grab your upper arms to measure your shoulder distance. Then interlace the fingers, setting the pinky edges of the hands down. All ready, relax your neck. Inhale, lift up the space between your shoulder blades. Exhale, flex your chest muscles by squeezing the elbows towards each other. Tuck the toes, lift the knees up. Bend your legs a little bit and shift your shoulders over your elbows. Cross your left foot in front of your right, so your left foot will go to the right side of your right foot. Exhale, press your hips back as you work your legs straighter. So you might find the right leg straightens significantly. Point your butt up towards the ceiling as you press with your arms. So it's a curious change in sensation. You might find it's a lot on the right leg, which is kind of the idea. Inhale, release the left foot from confinement. Shift your shoulders forwards, bend the knees a wee bit. Exhale, hook the right foot over there. Press your hips up and back. So driving through that right leg to help send your pelvis upwards. Inhale, set your knees down and then sit up. So where you're heading, you're moving into some hip mobility work. So if you've been to classes with me before, we've done these many times. You can do this with a block in there, and I would recommend it if you've got one. If you don't have one, you can do this without the block. Just be very disciplined about the sort of 90-degree positioning that you're working with the legs. Take the block between your left heel and your left sit bone. Lift the left leg without collapsing down through your lower back. So your aim is hips are level, abdomen is drawing away from the ground, and looking forwards. Press down through the top of the right foot. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee downwards. Inhale, open the left knee out to the left. Drop the block. Open it out to the left without dropping the block like I did. Exhale, reach the leg towards the back of the room so the knee points back, foot points up. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee down. Inhale, open the knee out to the left without lifting your left buttock. Exhale, send the leg towards the back of the room. Alright, change to the other side. I think somebody's oiled my block, it feels very slippery. Alright, lift that right leg up. Level your right hip with your left. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring the right knee straight down. Inhale, open the right knee out to the right without moving your lower back or squeezing right side obliques. Exhale, drive the leg to the back of the room, working your inner thighs as you bring the leg back. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee straight down. Inhale, open the right knee out to the right. Exhale, take the leg towards the back so the knee points back, the foot points up. Inhale, release that leg down. Come off of that. Alright, stand up. Set the feet so they're about hip distance apart. Brace your hands into your upper thighs. Now, you're used to doing this as back traction if you've been in any of my classes before. For the purposes of today, straighten your legs. Scoop your chest forwards and up. So you're in this straight leg back traction. Actively stick your butt out so you feel your hamstrings firing up. Do 3 rounds of Uddiyana in this straight leg back traction. When you're finished, bend the legs, bring yourself up. Whew. It's really intense in the straight leg back traction. Now, where we're heading to next, you're doing something called good mornings. Now, I realise that it may not be morning anymore, depending on where you are geographically. The left and right foot will be lined up, but the right foot is off the floor. I'm just going to show you this first one. On the exhale, bowing forwards, sticking your butt out, inhaling, chest comes forwards and up. What I want you to avoid is if you end up coming down, say to here, I've got my left foot off the floor this time, and then your pelvis and hammies are limiting you, so you start doing this rounding the back. This section hasn't gone anywhere. You've just collapsed here, and then if you try and lift, you're probably going to tear or ping something in the lower back. So this is a very much like a less is more scenario. So again, coming back to the intent, cherish what is there and what you've got out of this deal, which might be tight hamstrings if you've been running, like I have, my gosh. All right, so shift the weight onto your left foot, hover your right foot from the mat, and already feel for very slightly sticking your butt out. Deep breath in. Exhale, bow forwards, pelvis level, but stick your butt out. Inhale, scoop your chest forwards and up. Exhale, bow forwards. Inhale, scoop your ribs forwards and up, feet are staying side by side. Exhale, bow. Inhale, forwards and up. So it should challenge left hamstring. Do 2 more. Switch sides. Shift the weight onto your right foot. Left foot hovers from the mat. Exhale, bow forwards. So I find one hand on the lower back helps me track if I'm moving from my lower spine. Inhale, chest scoops forwards and up. Exhale, bow. Left foot stays in line with right foot. Inhale, chest forwards and up. Exhale, bow. Use your abdominal muscles to assist with that contraction. Inhale, forwards and up. 2 more. Then give the legs a wee bit of a bend. In this next piece, when people start navigating a little bit further than where they can manage neurologically, there tends to be a collapsing in the lower back, like not only a bending in the leg, but a tucking in the tailbone and a shifting of the pelvis forwards or a leaning back. So I want you to feel if any of those happen, if you bend the bottom leg, if you tuck under, if you round the back, or you press your pelvis forwards, it is an indication you've gone a little too far for now. And that's good to acknowledge because you can work with what you're working with. Shift the weight onto your right foot. Exhale, lift the left knee. So it seems fairly innocuous, but you might find that you have indeed curled under. Send your sacrum back. Deep breath in. Exhale, extend the left leg. Now this might be a very different deal. Inhale, bend it. Now when you extended, did you lean forwards? If so, consider working with the leg lower. Exhale, extend the left leg. Inhale, bend it. You're going to need this. Exhale, extend the left leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend the leg. Inhale, bend. Shaking is good. Exhale, extend the leg. Inhale, bend. Release that leg down. Switching to the other side. Exhale, lift the right thigh. Send your sacrum back, bringing the weight more to your right heel, hips level. Exhale, extend the right leg. Inhale, bend it. Exhale, extend the leg. Remember, if you're curling or leaning or rounding, send it lower. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend the leg. So feeling your quadriceps. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. 1 more after this. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend that leg. Release the foot down. Give your legs a wee bit of a shuggle, so especially if you're not used to those. We're moving into sun salutations, alternating with sun salutations. To clarify, in Forrest Yoga, we work with one more from the Iyengar discipline, which steps back into lunges. In Ashtanga-based disciplines from the line of Krishnamacharya, those who like your yoga history, they use Surya Namaskar A, even though the other one is also called Surya Namaskar A, which jumps back into Chaturanga. So we'll be doing one alternating with the other. Step nearer to the front of your yoga mat. Bring the weight towards your heels and tuck tailbone down. Inhale, take the arms out to the side, arms up. Forward bend. Exhale, point sit bones up, be aware of your hamstrings, should be aware of them. Lunge, left leg back, knee down, arms up. Press into the feet, lift chest. Plank. Hover the right foot to step it back, don't drag it. Exhale, bend elbows. Low cobra. Inhale, pull with your arms, press the feet down, tuck your tailbone. Downward facing dog. Exhale, tuck toes, lift knees. Lunge. Inhale, lightly step your left foot through between your hands, arms up. Forward bend. Exhale, step onto increasingly straightening legs. Inhale, chest goes forwards and up as you bring the arms up. Exhale, hands together at chest. This is now the other sun salutation. Inhale, arms up, lift chest up. Forward bend, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your ribcage away from pelvis, hands are flat. Chaturanga, exhale, step or hop back, bend elbows and lower. Cobra, inhale, articulate your chest forward, shoulder blades down, press into the feet. If you still need low cobra, add it as low cobra. Downward facing dog, exhale. Look in between your hands, inhale to either step, or you can hop towards the front of your mat into that halfway lift. Forward bend, exhale. Inhale, scoop your arms forwards and up. Exhale, hands come together at chest. Inhale, bring the arms up. So back onto lunges. Forward bend, exhale. Lunge, right leg back, knee down, arms up. Plank, exhale, hands down, step back, bend elbows and lower down. Low cobra, inhale, pull with the arms, press the feet down. Downward facing dog. Exhale, tuck toes, lift knees. Lunge, inhale, right foot through between the hands, arms up. Forward bend, exhale, step forwards, neck relaxed. Inhale, lengthen the ribs forwards, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands together at chest. Inhale, reach up. Forward bend, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, articulate chest forwards. Chaturanga, exhale, step or hop back, bend elbows. Cobra or low cobra, inhale, lift chest, lean back through the back of your skull, downward facing dog. Exhale. Have a look in front of your hands. Inhale to step, or you can hop your feet to your hands into that half lift. Forward bend, exhale. Inhale, chest forwards and up. Exhale, hands together at chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Forward bend, exhale. Lunge, left leg back, knee down, arms up. Plank, exhale, hands down, lightly picking the foot up as you lower. Low cobra, inhale, pull with the arms, press feet down. Downward facing dog. Exhale, tuck toes, lift knees. Lunge, inhale, left foot lightly through between your hands, arms up. Forward bend, exhale, step forwards, neck relaxed. Inhale, scoop chest forwards and up. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, arms wide. Forward bend, exhale, hopefully getting the hang of this. Half lift, inhale. Chaturanga, step or hop back, bend elbows. Cobra or upward dog. If you're doing up dog, lift the thighs, lift the pelvis. Downward facing dog, piking the hips up and rolling over the toes. Look in between your hands. Inhale, step or hop, feet to hands. Forward bend, exhale. Inhale, chest forwards and up. Exhale, hands together at chest. Inhale, reach up. Forward bend, exhale. Lunge, right leg back, knee down, arms up. Plank, exhale, hands down, step back, bend elbows, feel for a cobra action in the chest as you lower. Low cobra, inhale, pull with the arms, press feet down. Downward facing dog. Exhale, tuck toes, lift knees. Lunge, inhale, right foot through, left knee down, arms up. Forward bend. Exhale, step forwards, neck relaxed, perhaps legs straightening. Inhale, scoop the ribs forwards and up. Exhale, hands together at chest. Inhale, reach up. Forward bend. Exhale, half lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale, step or hop back. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Look in between your hands. Inhale, step or hop, feet through to your hands. Forward bend, exhale. Inhale, chest forwards and up. Exhale, hands together at chest. Things are going to change now. Inhale, arms up. Forward bend, exhale. Lunge heel to butt. Step your left leg back, pad the knee as necessary. Once you're up, exhale, bend that left leg, bring your heel in towards your butt. I'm on 3 layers of yoga mat already, so if you need extra, fold it. Inhale, lift chest. Instead of lowering yet, exhale, tuck your tailbone down and feel for reaching down through your left thigh. Push the left foot back, but without letting the distance open up, so you're still drawing the heel in. Inhale, telescope ribs up. Exhale, now start to navigate into the depths of the pose. So think we've been here already today in that lunge heel to butt, no, not lunge heel to butt, half Virasana bridge. If it's too much, repeat lunge, but be there for a few more breaths. Take another deep breath. Exhale, release that left leg, hands come down, step the feet back. Exhale, bend elbows. Take the hands wider than your mat, but keep them roughly in line with your shoulders. Inhale, lift up your chest, take the hands off the floor. If comfortable, lift the feet off the floor. Deep breath in. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Lunge heel to butt. Inhale, left foot comes through, right knee goes down. Bring the hips up. Exhale, reach back for that right heel, drawing the heel in towards your butt. Inhale, telescope your ribs up, squaring the hips forwards. Exhale, tuck tailbone down, reach down through your right thigh bone. Press away with your right foot so you're increasing the amount of stretch available in the front of that right leg. Once you feel like you've created those pieces, and feel for lowering down into that front leg a little bit more. Inhale, lift ribs up. Exhale, tuck tailbone down. So I've been saying to you throughout class, you're gonna need this. You're gonna need this. Forward bend. Exhale, release the hands down, step straight forwards, neck relaxed. Inhale, scoop your chest forwards and up. Exhale, hands together at chest. Inhale, reach up. Forward bend. Exhale. Half lift. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale, step or hop back. Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Now listen. Inhale into plank. Cross your left foot in front of your right leg. Exhale, press the hips back into down dog. Inhale into plank, release the left foot, cross the right foot in front of the left leg. Exhale, press your hips back. Inhale, release that cross. Forward bend. Exhale, step or hop forwards. Halfway lift. Inhale, scoop chest forwards. Got the breath queuing wrong there. It should be inhale all at once. Forward bend. Exhale. Inhale, arms come out to the side, stand up. Exhale, hands come together at chest. Have a little water break if you haven't had one yet, and watch where you're heading next. If you have an inversion practice, you can use a wall or do forearm balance for the next part. For the majority, I prefer to see you doing this in shoulder stand because it teaches you about the movements of the pelvis. What I see a lot when people do this is the legs go through a very limited range of motion because there isn't an appreciation for how the pelvis needs to adjust to this. So watch me first. For this shoulder stand, aiming that the pelvis is above the elbows, not above your face. From this place, sending one leg up and one leg over. So I usually see this. The pelvis actually has to topple over a little bit to create the split. Then it's kind of back in a neutral position. Then it tilts again as the leg moves. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Doing split switches in shoulder stand. So I'm looking for 10 of those actions. Take care, if you're more flexible, the legs tend to go out like a spaghetti monster all over the place. If you're using the wall, you can develop your courage using the wall here, starting in dolphin on the wall on tiptoes and sending the leg over and making that switch, leaning towards the wall, like I'm always leaning against that wall the whole time, rather than leaning that way and falling that way. Stronger day. Do this as forearm balance. So either hands clasped or forearms parallel, same deal. Going for really smooth 10 scissor switch kicks. Come on in. So shoulder stand people, coming down onto your back. Make sure your head is on your yoga mat. I've never understood the practice of removing padding from your head and neck to do shoulder stand. If you're doing dolphin on the wall, go for hands clasped. Forearm balance people. Your aim, I would say hands clasped is a really good thing to do. You're seeing if you can lift up, but then allow the pelvis to do that little bit of extra work towards hollow back. So you're up, sit bones point up, whoop, and then passing between those two states. So aiming for 10 rounds. So feel for what you do have. rather than chasing maybe something that isn't quite there yet. So if you know that you can do 3 and it feels really great, maybe it's 3 for today. When you're finished, come on down. Whew, you should feel warm and ready. Definitely ready. You're moving into a standing pose series. In Forrest Yoga, when you come to class, we tend to work either with B series, 2 or 3 poses, and we do multiple configurations of those, so each one's like a little story. Or we do a standing pose series where all the poses relate, everything is all on one side, and then we repeat it once we're done. That's what we're doing tonight. Stand at the front of your yoga mat. Shift the weight onto your left foot. So this first pose will feel a counterintuitive if you're used to left side starts, but it will make sense in a moment. Exhale, bring your right knee up. Bring the weight towards your left heel, send your sacrum back. Take the right hand to the inside of your right leg, holding onto the foot. Exhale, gradually press the leg straightest. You might find that you start to do that rounding forwards, or pelvis pushing forwards, or bending the bottom leg. Feel where you can be steady. Perhaps the leg is straightening. That is way harder than it looks or sounds. Switch deep breathing on. Alright, now release the right leg down, but don't put it on the floor. Glide it back via a bit of an airplane-like action and step back into Warrior One. Feet are tracking about hip distance widthways. Square the right hip forwards. Remember, you can always flip that right heel up if it feels better for you to work your Warrior Ones without any torque on the knee. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, wrap shoulder blades towards the underarms as you bend into that left leg. Tailbone tucks down. Inhale, stretch ribs and diaphragm up. Exhale, come down and feel into the strength of your legs. So there are going to be moments where you will have to dig deep on your leg strength. A standing pose series teaches stamina and fortitude. And those are things that would be really important at this really tumultuous time. Take a deep breath in. Pyramid back traction. Straighten your left leg. Stay long in this stance. If you know that you tend to shorten, stay with this. Brace both hands high into your left thigh, and then pitch your chest forwards. Actively draw your left hip back and stick your butt out. Do 3 rounds of Uddiyana. During the Uddiyana, push the left foot so you feel you can draw the left hip back. Chest is scooping forwards, registering this more like a back bend than a forward flexion. Easy twisting warrior. Flip your right heel up, bring the right hand down underneath your right shoulder, and then actively feel for lengthening your butt towards the back of the room. Endeavour that the hips stay level here. Inhale, twist the left arm up towards the ceiling. So part 1 is being here. If your shoulders feel happy to navigate this, exhale, turn the left palm forwards, wrapping the left shoulder blade to the underarm, and reach the left arm overhead. So this creates an opportunity to lengthen from left hip all the way to your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen your ribcage towards the front of the mat. Exhale, drive your right thigh bone up so you feel your hips are level. Dig deep on that ujjayi. straddle forward bend. Bring the left hand down, walk your hands around to the right, parallel the feet. You'll probably need to step the feet around so they're in the same line as each other. Hands start under shoulders, maybe legs are bent if you tighten the hamstrings. Inhale, lengthen your ribs forwards. Forward bend. Exhale, bow down over the legs. Maybe the hands are walking back so the hands and the feet are more in line with each other. And using the arms to effect a bit of a pull while telescoping the ribs down. If your head hits the floor, go narrower with your stance. So this is a good time after a couple of really strong poses to come back with your awareness to your breathing and to get steady. Wrist sensitive, fold the arms. Flank stretch. Come back onto your hands. Now this isn't a twist, it's that same sort of shearing side bend action. Aiming to keep your collarbones facing towards that left side of your mat. Take your left hand outside your left foot and your right hand to the outside of the left ankle. If you can't reach, bend both knees the same amount. Inhale, lean your right ribs to the right. Exhale, bend the right elbow, lean the head a little bit left so you're creating that arc in the spine even all the way to your head. Use your left hand to push, sending the right ribs to the right. As you bend the right arm, perhaps the right elbow touches the floor, so you're strongly engaging through your bicep on that side. This pose responds more to deep breathing than it does to thrashing around. So I recommend that you dig deep on your breath. Triangle. Inhale, surface from there. Turn your left foot forwards and turn the right foot in a little bit. Left hand is either going underneath your left shoulder, on your shin, or on a block. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Actively reach out through the arms as you press through the feet. Left sit bone is drawing towards the back of the mat. Back sensitive, the further up you go, the less it's going to feel like you start jeopardizing into a bit of a side bend action. Reach outwards with the arms and lengthen through both sides of your neck. Come back to your breathing and come back to your intent. So what is there that you still have, that you can delight in, that you can appreciate? Maybe it's even in reference to your energy levels, which might be dwindling rapidly as we start moving. Extended warrior variation. Bring your right hand onto your right hip, bend your left leg, and then set your left hand to the inside of the leg. So your aim here is to scoop your chest forward. Now the variation is reaching the right arm up, turning the palm forwards and extending through that side. So more of a traditional Parsvottanasana. Inhale, lengthen the right ribs towards the front of the room. Exhale, point your sit bones towards the back of the mat. Too much for the right shoulder, set that right hand back onto your sacrum. Now work well. Dig deep with that left leg. Interlock warrior. Now left arm is coming to the inside of the left leg, underneath the left thigh, and clasping the right hand behind the back. If you're working with the left hand down, can you get the right hand to come behind the back to hold your left thigh rather than coming into the full thing yet? Now we're not here for too long. If you're in the clasp, step your right foot forwards. Even if you're not in the clasp, step the right foot forwards. Interlock, people. Stand up onto that right leg, coming into easy bird of paradise, endeavoring to send the left leg questing up, extending your quadriceps. I did say you would need that. If you're not working that, then you are holding onto your left thigh, bringing the knee up, right hand behind the back, and still working on extending out through that quadricep. So you're still getting essentially the same muscular action, just without the clasp. which is still completely valid and a very good place to be. He says, wherever you are, fire up your breathing. Inhale, release your left foot down, step your right foot back only about a foot or maybe just more than that. Half moon. Take your left hand in front of your left foot about 10 inches, then about 3 inches to the left. Either be on the fingertips, on your palm, or have the hand on a block. Inhale, shift the weight onto your left leg. Right leg reaches back with a flexed foot. Right arm lifts up. So a lot of these triangle-based shapes, straight-legged poses in today's sequence. Inhale, unfurl your low front ribs towards your left palm. Exhale, drive out through your right heel. And this should create a firming up on the right buttock muscles. Either stay here or navigate quarter moon. Bend the right leg. If it's difficult to reach over your shoulder and back to get that, bring the knee into your chest. The distance is much less. And then draw the foot back into that heel to butt action. If you've got the heel to the butt, keep the heel tight towards your butt and do this without a back bend. So tailbone tucks towards the back of the room. Legs should be starting to liquefy, hopefully. Vertical split oil riggers. Release your hands down, straighten your right leg, but towards the floor. So your hips are a bit more level. Wrap your shoulders like turbo dog. Exhale, drive the right leg up. Inhale, lower the leg down, neck relaxed. Exhale, drive the leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, bring the leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, take that leg up. Inhale, lower, last one. Exhale, take the leg up. Pyramid. Step the right leg back. Going for about a 3 foot length pyramid, 1 foot widthways. Maybe if you're using props, you've got your hands up on the block to help you square your hips and scoop your chest forwards. Alternatively, hands are down. Inhale, lengthen your ribs forwards like cobra. Exhale, point your sit bones to the back of the room and press from that left foot, folding the chest down towards your left ankle. This is part 1. I know it's going to get very exciting. Part 2 is a pyramid flank stretch. Flex your left foot so you're drawing your left toes off the floor. Right hand comes over the ball of the foot. Now, if you were using the block before, I recommend your left hand is on the block. Right hand is over the ball of the foot, even if the leg is bent. Send your ribs to the right as you pull with your right arm. So you're almost thinking about your skull pulling towards your toes. It's spicy. Set the left foot flat. Pigeon. Reset your left shin. So endeavoring to come down so that if your head is at 12 o'clock, the shin is at about a 4 o'clock position, or 3 o'clock. It's a more flexible day. Tuck the right toes to help you square off the hips. Knee injured, you're bringing the chest towards the heel, so similar to the pose that we did right at the start. Alternatively, squaring off in the hips and coming down onto the elbows. Instead of slowly rolling forwards over your foot just to get your arms down, have that back foot acting as an anchor to draw you to the back of the room, but to assist you in the act of tucking your tailbone down. Arms are pulling the chest forwards, but the back of the neck is long. So now that you're no longer strenuously bearing weight, come back to the steadiness of your breath. So you've got it to fall back on in these moments that are a little less fiery, unless maybe your legs have been cooked so much with yoga this week that pigeon is doing maybe not its usual calming, soothing song. Now you can stay as you are or navigating pigeon heel to butt. I do not mind a turning action in the chest to get a hold of that leg, so long as there's some effort to bring the ribs back forwards. And so if this is where you get to get the quad stretch, I'm happy for you to do that. Or see if you can come onto the elbows or square the ribs forwards. As in our other heel to butt actions, tuck your tailbone down as you draw the foot in. Splits. If you've got the right foot in heel to butt, release that. Bring yourself up so you can get onto that right knee and send your left leg forwards. You still want to feel that your hips are hip distance. Then prop users, putting a block under the meatiest bit of your left thigh can be a great way to start to navigate the complexities of this pose. So squaring your hips forwards and getting in there, and that can be pretty high up. All right, this can be all the way up here as you navigate this, so it's almost like a lunge variation. Really aiming to draw the right hip forwards and the left hip back and lifting the chest up. So you're getting a feel for the actions of forward bend and back bend simultaneously. As you get more comfortable, then yes, it starts to go lower. As you get more comfortable, the left leg is straightening forwards. If you are upright, then you're kind of doing like splits back bend. With what we're doing today, if you are interested, do splits forward bend, where you're going forwards towards that leg. But there is definitely something for you to be doing here. If you're thinking like, oh, I'm busy. The thing about standing pose series plus home practice, there is no way you're gonna wanna miss the second side. You know you're gonna be walking funny if you don't at least marry up the other side. Maybe you'll be walking funny anyway after this class. Sorry about that. If you really want to blow your mind in splits, do an Uddiyana. I feel like I can sense eyebrows lifting all over the world. All right, release down. Make an exit. Notice there was no adjectives there. I don't mind if it's a graceful exit, an ungraceful exit. Oh, stand up. Try to stand up. Okay, legs doing okay? Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day for you from a movement point of view. All right, second side. With the second side, you know what is coming, all right? Now you could either use that as a negative to really psych yourself out, or get really curious about the sensations on this side and the differences, the nuances that there are on this side. Shift the weight towards your right foot. Exhale, bring your left leg up. Left hand comes to the inside of your left leg and gradually send the left leg forward. So this might feel easier because of all the work that we did on that previous side. Perhaps. If you feel like you're rounding your back, then work with that leg bent for now. You are in no rush to work with that leg straight. All right, deep breath in. Woo. Exhale, bring the leg down. Glide it back through almost an airplane position back into warrior one. Going for a 4-foot length stance. Feet are set as if they're on 2 train tracks. And then bend into your right leg. Feel free to work with the back heel up. So especially if there's any irritation in the knee, the ankle, or the hips. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, wrap shoulder blades towards the underarms. Tailbone tucks down. So this is very much this sort of like linear plane of motion. We're getting into that before we start opening up via like the warrior 2 poses. So get a feel for that reaching forwards through the right thigh. reaching back through the left thigh and the pelvis pointing down. Use this pose to connect to those sensations thematically, but also to reconnect to your strength. Pyramid back traction. Straighten the right leg, tip the back heel down if you had it lifted, and shift your hips a wee bit to the right. Hands brace high up into your right thigh as you pitch forwards, and then level the hips. You're drawing the right hip back and lengthening the chest forwards. Do 3 rounds of Uddiyana in back traction. Chest is lifting, back muscles engaging like we did in that hover cobra earlier. Push into your hands so you feel a similar sensation of back traction to the back traction we did earlier. Hypermobile, soften the right knee. Easy twisting warrior. Bend into the right leg, flip the left heel up if you had it lifted, and set the left hand down. Exhale, draw down through the right side of your pelvis, drive the left thigh bone up. Inhale, twist the right arm open, turning the chest towards the right leg, or extend the warrior, reaching the right arm over to create that side bend effect. Inhale, telescope the ribs towards the front of the mat. Exhale, roll right ribs up whilst creating a counter spiral, wrapping the right shoulder blade towards your underarm so it feels like a downward spiral. Straddle forward bend. Bring the hands down, turn the feet to the left, line the feet up. Unfortunate camera angle for me, apologies. Maybe you will see that hairband. Inhale, scoop the chest towards the left side of your mat. Exhale, shift the weight towards the ball of the foot, and then fold. If you wish to do a different arm position here, reach the arms through the legs on fingertips and bend the elbows. So you're actually using your biceps again to assist with this lengthening down through skull, but without flexing and trying to round your back. Focus on length rather than compressing. Use deep breathing. So maybe on the second side, rather than being a sense of impending doom, it's actually thinking, well, I can use this pose to prepare for blah. Whether it is splits, or bird of paradise, or even the next pose. Flank stretch. Come up onto your hands, feel free to bend the knees. Take both hands towards your right foot. Right hand goes to the outside of the right foot. Left hand holds the outside edge of your right ankle. Make sure there's no twist, so your chest is facing through in between your thighs. Inhale, lean your ribcage to the left. Exhale, bend the left elbow down. Relax the neck and very slightly veer the head and neck off to the right. Inhale, push with your right hand to help send the left ribs to the left. Exhale, bend that elbow. If your breathing has gotten really fast and hard, can you slow it down so that there is a gentle opening through left side ribs and underarm rather than a really aggressive opening? Triangle. Turn the right foot forwards. Left foot might need to turn in a little bit. Set the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, reach the left arm up. So this might be a good place for you to be, maybe bringing the hand up onto the ankle or the shin bone to help, rather than scrunching up, right side low back. So aiming that both sides are very spacious, less curve, more straight lines in this triangle. Inhale, lengthen your right side low ribs towards the front of your mat. Use your exhale to engage into your left side obliques a little bit more. So there's an upward support being done by the obliques. Extended warrior variation. Bring your left hand onto your hip, rebend your right leg, and take the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Bend into the right leg. So Parsvakonasana, inhale, either reach the left arm up or keep it on the hip. If you're working it as the extended side angle, exhale, spin left palm forwards and reach the left arm overhead. Press into the floor with your right foot and your right hand as the left arm reaches overhead. Inhale, lean the pelvis to the left. Exhale, lean your shoulders back, lean the head back a little bit. The legs should be starting to feel pretty spicy. Interlock. Left arm comes behind the back. You can either use your left hand to hold the right inner thigh and be here for a moment, or take the right arm underneath the right thigh. So not going kind of between the cheeks, splitting the difference in a different way. We're going for a hand hold or a wrist hold. If you're doing the wrist hold, right hand holds left wrist rather than the other way around. Easy bird of paradise. Step the left foot forwards wherever you are. Come up to stand on that left leg. And once you feel like you can point your sit bones down, then you can start to navigate straightening the right leg up. If that isn't the stage that you wish to be in today, right hand holds the right leg, shoulders are down, and working on that quadricep extension with the left arm behind the back. So it is more about feeling the semblance of the pose rather than strict accuracy. Now, birds of paradise, bring the right foot down. Step your left foot back a little bit. So remember, this is kind of like our little halfway pose. Half moon. Take the right hand in front of your right foot, then off to the right a few inches. Remember, you can be on fingertips, flat palm, or hand on the block. Inhale, shift the weight onto that right leg, and lift your left leg up. Inhale, scoop the ribcage towards the front of the mat. Exhale, drive the left heel towards the back of the mat. Left arm reaches up. Instead of trying to get your chest in line with your right foot, let your chest go off towards your right hand. So it's a very slight diagonal pose. Drive through your left heel so you can get extra support through the buttock muscles and the muscles outside your left hip. Now if this is your place, stay here. Or bend that left leg, reaching the left arm back for heel to butt, quarter moon. Remember, there's the easier version of getting the foot by bringing the knee in towards your chest and then leaning back. This pose should still feel like it is a hip opener rather than leaning into back bend territory. So I know there is a pose that exists like that, but this is not that pose. If you've got the heel to butt, tuck your tailbone towards that heel. Vertical split oil riggers. Release your left leg. Set your hands down, square off your hips, square off your chest. Bring the left foot down so it alights on the floor a little. Exhale, lift that left leg up. Inhale, lower the leg down. Chest is coming down close to the leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the leg. Two more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Pyramid. Step back. So this time is about a 3-foot stance. Feet are hip distance apart. This might be where you take a block to the inside of the legs. Draw the right side of the pelvis back and obviously somewhat the left side of the pelvis forwards. Inhale, telescope your ribs forwards, back of the neck long. Pyramid forward bend. Exhale, fold down over that leg, pressing back through your right foot. Aim to stick your butt out a little bit here in this pyramid. Using that to help unfurl through your lower back. Now remember, if you're using the block, swap it over to the right hand side, under the right hand. Flex your left foot. Left hand comes over the top of the foot and pull with your left arm. Lean your rib cage to the left, so you're effectively working a flank stretch, leg stretch into the pose. Ribs lean left, left elbow bends to the left, and creating the tension by pushing the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot. Pigeon. Bend the legs, set your left knee down, reset your right shin. So this time, if your head is at 12 o'clock, the shin is at an 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock position. Knee tweaky version, leaning towards the left heel or elevating the right upper thigh bone. Navigate to the elbows, left toes tucked. Inhale, lift right side low ribs and telescope ribs forwards. Exhale, drive the left heel back. Especially if you've been using your neck for all the balance poses, let the head and neck release a little bit here. Pigeon heel to butt. So if necessary, you're coming up onto your hands to reach back with that left arm, drawing the heel in and squaring off the hips. So any adjustments that are necessary, you might find that you need to be a wee bit more upright to get hold of that foot. Splits. Left toes are still tucked. Bring yourself up. Maybe you're putting the block or the roll underneath the belly of the right leg. So the belly of the hamstrings. And being very upright here, focusing on thinking sit bones are going down, left heel going back, right foot going forwards. Maybe you're graduating that down a little bit. If you're in splits, so you feel like you're pretty comfortable, go forwards in splits. You're leaning forwards over the leg. This can also be done with the block where it is presently. Do deep breathing though. It's going to be high kicking around the supermarket, just know it. Or this will be how you pick up like stuff from the bottom of the shelf. You just slowly slide down into splits and be like, there's the granola. If you're curious about it, do an Uddiyana here, so the big exhale through the mouth. To come up, lean to your right, swing your left leg around, or the remnants of your legs. You're coming back into shoulder stand territory. If you want to keep it as an up, you're welcome to navigate handstand. But for now, we're going to be taking things down a little bit into shoulder stand territory with plow, halasana. Depending on how this feels for your lower back, if you've got low back stuff, part 2 probably won't feel so good. And that is where you bring the knees in towards your ears for a pose called Karnapadasana. So I'll show you where you're heading. So still working with that Forrest Yoga idea of pelvis above the elbows rather than above your face. And then thinking knees are coming in towards your chest, using your abdominals, and then extending the legs. So feet touch down. Maybe the feet are on props. So this is part 1. I like to take hands towards sit bones and feel for the action of pointing the sit bones up just to get that extra unfurl through the lower back. You can also take arms overhead if you don't feel like you need them for stability. For the second pose, Karnapadasana, you're bending the knees in.
using your abdominal muscles to help tighten that configuration, and the hands come around the back of the knees to cover your ears.
Options, options. So, come on in. If you're doing inversion for handstand, splits in down dog on the wall would be really good. So that is coming into down dog on the wall and taking a leg up and over. Neutral neck would be marvelous. So taking 5 breaths per side. If you're doing halasana into karni padasana, is shoulder stand first. Do not turn your head. Then working the legs straight towards plow. Maybe the feet are resting onto the wall or onto a block. Or maybe 5 breaths here. If you're not doing karni padasana, it's 10 breaths there. If you're doing karni padasana, knees are bending, using your abdominals to create that seal without scrunching. And aiming to take the arms around to hold your ears. So you've got a little bit of time to navigate this as you will. If you're down and you're already thinking, oh, burst, then begin your preparations for Shavasana. And that doesn't mean switching off the video. It means getting comfortable so you can be steady. And actually using this time during a time of tumult and chaos to take Shavasana as an intentional resting moment. So if you're still playing upside down, bring yourself down and then lay down. You might prefer to get access into your ribs and your back in a different way to do Shavasana belly down. So I find this really useful if my mid to upper back is feeling really stiff, but also so that my lumbar curve can restore. So choose something where you can be comfortable in that rest and be there. Bring back the intent, working that through the time that you're in Shavasana. So accepting the parts that you can have of what you've wanted. Right? So maybe you wanted more time with the family or more time at home. You're getting that. Maybe there are things in your practice. Feel for integrating any little glimmers of insight that have come from the intent. begin to deepen your breath. Do your breathing in a way that allows you to cherish the sensations of each deliberate and thorough breath. As you do that, start taking some movement into your fingers and your toes. Bend your legs, setting your feet to the floor. If you're on your abdomen, use your hands to bring yourself up. Take a moment to find a comfortable sitting position where you are. Maybe that is sitting on a block. Bring your hands together at chest. So we've been looking at this idea of splitting the difference. And while we actually can't have everything we may have wanted at this time, we're still able to get a lot. Cherish it rather than seeing it through the lens of scarcity and lack. Acknowledge the time you've taken to practice for your body, your mind, and your spirit. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bow forwards. Namaste.